Amazon Elastic File System is a simple, fully managed cloud-native file system. EFS provides serverless shared storage, meaning you don't need to provision or manage any infrastructure or capacity. AWS takes care of that for you. EFS supports up to tens of thousands of concurrent clients, meaning it's a shared service. It's also elastic and can grow to petabytes in size. You only pay for what you use, and performance automatically scales with capacity, and it's highly available and highly durable. In terms of performance, it provides low consistent latency and high throughput in IOPS. Additionally, EFS offers multiple storage classes, as we'll see here shortly. Now let's go ahead and hop into the console and take a quick look. In the AWS Management Console, EFS is located under the storage category. An EFS file system can literally be created in seconds by simply clicking on Create File System. Here you have the option of naming it. Next, we assign it to a VPC and select regional or one zone. Then click Create. The file system is now available and has been configured with the default values. Now let's customize the creation of an EFS by creating another one and going through the wizard. So this time we'll walk through the customize steps and explain each setting in more detail. Once again, you can see that we have the option of naming the file system. Next, we'll assign it to a VPC. If you're planning to access this file system from on-premise, be sure to select a VPC that's routable between the two. Amazon EFS offers the choice of creating the file system using regional or one zone storage classes. Regional storage classes store the data within and across multiple availability zones. One zone storage classes store the data redundantly within a single availability zone, which comes at a lower cost for workloads that don't require multi-AZ resilience. Now if we click Customize, we'll take a closer look at the options, and we can see here that by default, automatic backups are enabled, and we'll create a daily snapshot of the file system. And you can also leverage lifecycle management by specifying the number of days that must elapse for an inactive file to move to the infrequent access tier. For performance considerations, most customers will select general purpose. However, certain workloads such as big data analytics may benefit from the max IO setting. Please note that this setting cannot be modified once the file system has been created. Along those same lines, the bursting throughput mode will meet many customer requirements. This mode automatically scales throughput as the file system grows. You can also select provision and specify a fixed throughput in megabytes per second. Your data is encrypted by default, and like any AWS service, you can always add tags to help identify and track your resources. Because we selected regional for the availability, EFS automatically created a mount point for all availability zones within that region. This screen gives you the ability to specify the subnet IP address and security group for each mount point. Had we selected one zone, we would have only seen a single availability zone on the screen. Finally, you have the option of overriding the default file permissions, but we'll keep the defaults. Now we see that the file system is available. Since it's empty, the capacity is only 6 kilobytes. The next step is to attach this file system to a Linux host. We'll be using our existing Amazon EC2 instances to demonstrate the integration between EC2 and the NTFS file system. But let's sudo launch an instance to see where the setting is to attach an EFS during EC2 creation. We'll scroll down, and as we can see here in the file system section, you see that you can attach an existing EFS file system. But let's go ahead and cancel on out of here. Just wanted to show you that though. Now let's demonstrate how to manually attach a file system. When you click on Attach, you'll see a couple of commands to mount the file system. We'll need to copy this bottom one into our clipboard. And now here's our SSH session into our Linux instance. The first thing we have to do is create a mount point. So let's create a directory called EFS to use as the mount point. Now we can paste the attached command from the clipboard. And we see here the file system is successfully mounted as expected. And doing an ls, we see that it's currently empty. Let's download some data from an S3 bucket just to provide some sample files that we can take a look at. All right, and as we can see, the download is complete, and we now have several files and folders in our EFS file system. A refresh in the console shows that the file system has automatically expanded. So we saw how simple it was to create an EFS file system. Great job at following along there, and I'll catch you in the next video.